Summer is just about here, which means it's time to start barbecuing again. Whether you're going to the beach or having a small cookout in your yard, Charbroil has a grill to fit your needs. If you use our link, you can get a Charbroil one-burner portable grill for just over $100, and it's perfect for wherever you need to cook. It's convenient and portable, and works just as well in the backyard as it does on the go. Just go to multipleworldproductions.com/sponsors and use our link to shop all the great products Charbroil has to offer.
Welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I'm Adam,
And I'm Josie.
and this week we hope to actually get to the topic of conversation that we were intending to have last week, but we didn't. Happy Spider-Verse Eve.
Neat.
Are you excited for the new?
No.
Did you ever watch the first one? I forget. You didn't, right?
Nope. I tried to, and I couldn't get into it, so I watched something else.
What did you watch instead?
I don't remember. It was
I
a
think
long
you're
time ago.
I think you're the only person to not like Into the Spider-Verse.
I think I just... What's Into the Spider-Verse? Is that the one with all three of them, or is that the cartoon one?
That's the animated one.
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
know. I wasn't into the... I think I just wasn't into the animation style.
I think I think that like you're really alone in that. I think a lot of people like it aged. I watched it the other day because I did it yesterday on 30-minute reviews. I talked about it. So I watched it again on Monday night,
Hmm.
and it really holds up.
I could try it again. I think maybe I wasn't in the best um receptive state for it.
Hmm
Like I wasn't into it. Like I wanted something else at the time.
And it's really funny too. That like a lot of and it's not like Deadpool beats you over the head with jokes the entire way through. Like
Hmm.
this one doesn't beat you over the head with jokes. It's just everything is just kind of like casually funny. Like the
Hmm.
entire way through. It's like when Spider-Man Noir shows up, it's like they're in like this basement in the in like the layer of that universe of Spider-Man, and it's like this basement,
Hmm.
and he's up in the rafters, and it's like his coat's blowing, and it's just like the Peter Parker from another universe, just like where's the wind coming from? We're in a basement like that,
Hmm.
like. And every time they go through and they tell the stories, it's like they do the origin story for the first Spider-Man, who is Chris Pine, who ends up
Hmm.
spoilers dying because it's Ultimate Spider-Man, and they do it again for the alternate Spider-Man, and he's telling the story, but you're seeing what actually happened at the same time. So it's
Hmm.
like he's talking about like then it's like I was on top of the world, made some bad financial choices, and then it's like he invested in a restaurant, like don't invest in a spider-themed restaurant. Then my wife left me, and it's like I handled it like a champ, and he's sitting in the bathtub sobbing in his costume. It's really funny in the movie. The entire
Maybe I'll
it's
try rewatching it.
yeah,
I've been in the mood for more funny things lately. Also spooky.
spooky. Well, you might like this year's Haunted Mansion movie.
Ooh, I watched Megan, and that was bad.
You didn't like Megan? I would have liked Megan better if it wasn't horror.
It wasn't her.
Well, they tried to make it like a slasher toward the end, where it's like they could have done that movie as just a straight sci-fi.
I thought it was funny.
I don't think it's
There
meant
was
to be
nothing
funny.
scary about it.
I think what it felt like, and I know this isn't the case, is it felt like what happened was they were trying to make a straight science fiction movie about
Hmm.
a robot kid and like how that
I
would
feel like that's really all it was a sci-fi movie. Like, I
well
don't know.
then Megan gets stabby at the end,
I guess so.
and starts
But
killing
that was
people.
funny.
I don't know, this felt weird to me. Like if they cut all of that and they just did a straight thing about this young girl who's not properly processing the death of her parents because she's
Hmm.
dealing with this AI, like this robot girl. Like I feel like that would have been a really good movie. Like if you just cut
Yeah,
the killing, like
I
it's
liked
just
that part of it, and I thought that was good. But like the slasher horror part of it was only funny.
and I think it's too. It was only PG-13.
Well, I watched the unrated,
Oh, okay. I
and it
watched it
wasn't
in the
any better.
theater. I watched it in the theater and it was PG-13, and I'm like, this is not gory at all.
No, it wasn't any better.
Um,
So.
Yeah. So this is not working. I was trying to do something funny, but it didn't work.
Oh,
Um
okay.
so we have some news today. Yeah, my headphones were slowly migrating down my head like this. So I was like, let me
Mm-hmm.
just line it up with my eyes like this, so I'm like cyborg.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
but I have to hold it in place. I'm like, that's too much work for a bit.
Hmm.
That only you will see, and it doesn't translate into audio. Um, but we have some news about various Marvel stuff that's happening.
Okay.
So right now we're in. And by the way, can we just address how fucking weird this whole press thing for the Flash is? Like, because the Flash is coming out
Uh,
in 2 weeks.
sure.
Um, but they can't have Ezra Miller on to do anything because of
Mm.
the litany of legal issues that he is dealing or they are dealing with. Ezra Miller is non-binary. I always forget that. Um,
Oh,
so they
don't they diddle kids?
yeah, allegedly. Because there was an allegation, but it was never handled in court. So there's the allegation allegedly he was grooming children
They
in right, they were grooming children in a kind of a systemic way where it wasn't just that one. There were like multiple specific allegations, and then there were things like their band that they were in had a
was like
rule.
diddling kids, and like would they'd have to bring the kids
You had
along and all that.
no, you had to you had to bring someone under the age of 18 to get into a show, and it's like that's weird. So Warner Brothers, rather than canceling the movie or recasting, were just like, no, 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 no. We're gonna put Ezra
Like
into
if you're gonna
rehab.
choose an age and it's gonna be something fun like that, bring an old person.
Yeah, but I think the issue is that they kind of just want to
They
fuck
wanted
younger
little,
people.
yeah, they want young
Yeah,
people that they can take advantage of.
right. And
Yeah, I got that. I just mean like if you're gonna do it for the jokes, for
right.
the yokes, then invite an old person. They're fun.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain what the thought process was on there, and nor am I their defense attorney. So there are some questionable decisions that happen there. So I think the interesting thing though is Warner Brothers, the way they've been playing this in the press over the last week, and then we'll get to the Marvel stuff after this, where it's like yesterday they put out a statement where it's like if we make a sequel to this, we will not be recasting because no one else can play Barry Allen. And I'm like,
I disagree.
look at my Zoom background.
Yeah.
This is from the TV show of the Flash. There, like where I'm
Okay.
pointing right now, that's the Flash costume from the
Oh yeah, and
TV
that was
show.
a different guy, right?
Entirely different guy for 9 years. That's the second Flash TV show because there was a different guy who played him in the 90s, then came back and played a different iteration of the Flash on the TV show.
Yeah,
So there are other options out there. You
they're
don't need
definitely
to.
stick with the kid diddler.
And also on top of that, even if you want to say all of that, even if you want to say regardless, I didn't like the casting of Ezra Miller out of the gate. You can go back to the early episodes of 30-minute reviews where I talk about that. I did not like that casting to begin with because the way he plays the character, that is not Barry Allen.
Oh.
Like, I could see Ezra
Is
as
Barry Allen
Wally.
supposed to be like a funny guy, or is he
He's
supposed
more
to be a
serious.
serious
He's like a
guy?
CSI. He's more serious. Like, even like I think that the portrayal on the TV show is an accurate portrayal to the comics where he's more serious. He's kind of like, because he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Like, his origin is his fucking mother gets murdered in front of him. His father goes to prison for the murder. Like, and then he's got to grow up from there. And he's 10 years old when that happens. It, I'm not saying he can't joke because he does have his moments and he does play well with others. Like he's not Batman, but
Hmm.
he is the way they play him in Justice League never felt right with me.
And most importantly, he's not supposed to diddle kids.
That's true too. The actor should not be doing that. And the thing is too, it's like they said, and then Warner Brothers said today, it's like, oh no, 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 we had no plans of scrapping the Flash movie because we didn't think that'd be fair to Ezra, who was in a mental health issue. And that's the issue that I've had with this, is them portraying this whole thing as a mental health issue, not as something substantially deeper. Because here's the thing, you can say like, look, he Ezra was going through a mental health crisis. all of this is the result of that. If you want to say that and you want to say that they're processing their trauma, they're processing this,
Well,
they're
that's
doing
the same thing. You could say that about any sort of pedophile, that they're
right.
processing through a mental health crisis because there's obviously something chemically
Something
wrong
is
in their
wrong there.
brain. But yeah, but you can't justify it in that way. It's still a person who
Right.
is,
And that and if you're gonna do that, at least show that you're making an effort to fix the behavior. Like,
and how would they go about fixing the behavior except
well,
for
if
like
they
putting him on some sort of parole thing that he's probably already required to do?
well, he was convicted of, and I think he's on some kind of parole or probation or something like that for it, was he was convicted
Or
of
he should
burglary.
be.
For burglary, not it's nothing sexual. It's he broke into his neighbor's house and stole liquor, so he's on for a burglary charge.
That's it.
Or she's on for they're on for a burglary charge. Yeah,
They.
yeah. And that's what it is. Like, it's like a year of interim, and then and then it gets dismissed or something like that. But either way,
And why is this person being treated special and being told that they are, it's a mental health crisis?
well, because it's a $300
More
million
often than
movie.
not, those issues. Yeah, but just cast somebody else.
Right. You could have deep faked
It's
someone
not
in,
that
but
hard.
but
Like,
you could have deep
yeah.
faked Grant in and just called it a day, and because you have enough years of him talking to be able to do that. But like, regardless, the issue is, if you want to say that you're going to get Ezra Miller help, and you're gonna put them through like a rigorous mental health, and you're gonna put them into rehab or whatever you do for that, like, that's fine.
Castration.
And if they rehabilitate, and you can be like, look, this happened, we've done X, Y, and Z. I don't believe in, like, especially when there is no criminal charge in this case, which is the big thing. There was an allegation in
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, but there was no criminal charge, and I don't think there's a civil case either. There's just an allegation in Rolling Stone. I don't believe in, and there's a pattern of behavior. I don't believe in permanently saying that's it, you're done based on that. But it's a pattern of behavior enough to show you got to get help. And if you're going to show you're going to go and get help, then after you do that, we can start fresh. But they're not doing that. So it's kind of like,
No,
oh, no,
they're
no, Ezra's getting help. But it's like you've shown nothing of that. You haven't had him go out into the press or anything to talk on his own behalf. It's all just the producers talking on their behalf.
And if they aren't well enough to speak for themselves, is that a person that you should be continuing to put in the light like that?
Right, to the point where it's like, oh no one else to play this role. I'm like, that's bullshit. You've had 7 people play Batman, like,
Right.
and including 2 in this movie.
And if their mental health is so important, stop putting them under the stress that filming and this public eye does.
Where they were shooting reshoots all last year. Like, all through when everything was unfolding, Ezra was still going back and forth. I'm just calling Ezra by his name so I don't mess up the pronoun again, but they were going back and forth to shoot reshoots all through this happening. And it's like Warner Bros. Didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It's not a great situation, and it's just kind of like
it's very dismissive to the girls that had.
That's true too.
That had come forward saying,
yeah,
they invited me back to this room, and there was allegations, and they were firsthand allegations that were brought forward, and it's unfortunate that they were just chucked to the side, and they should have been more out there.
Right.
And now they're going to chalk it up to a mental health issue,
right.
Which, yes, it is almost always a mental health issue if you want to go there, but it's also some people are just sick.
Mm-hmm. But look, if they're going to try and rehabilitate him, show you're rehabilitating him.
Man, how do you show you that you're rehabilitating? So I understand showing that you're rehabilitating if this person has, I don't know what they're calling the mental health issues. The mental health issues, the fact that this person was diddling kids, or are they calling it a mental health issue because this person actually has like serious mental health issues where they need to also get that evaluated, like suicidal thoughts, psychosis, like things like that.
Well, like when you look at the pattern of behavior, there were several instances that were not Ezra diddling kids, as you put it, allegedly. And I keep saying allegedly because I would prefer to have that little cushion. Because if you don't say allegedly, then it's a defamation issue.
Sure.
So not that I think we're likely to get the notoriety that has, but the issue is like there was also the time he assaulted the fan in Iceland. He got into the fight in Hawaii where he threw the chair at the woman.
Okay.
They got the issue where they had that compound in Vermont where
Yeah, that's the one where they were inviting
the
kids to it.
the guns, and there was, they had some woman. It's a series of predatory behavior too. It's not just the with kids. It's the belief that they're bigger than everyone else.
Now,
And I think that there is something underlying there that you could possibly treat, but I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist.
it's likely. I mean, with those new things, like it is probable that there's some sort of um uh personality disorder
Right.
there.
Which could be treated.
Yes, and that is great. That person should get help for that kind of stuff. I guess when I say, my harsh things, I think that they are calling pedophilia a mental health issue, and that's where I get a little snarky. But
Well, that's the thing, is we don't have, even in the allegations regarding grooming and all that, they never outright say that anything sexual happened with a minor. That's
it's
the other
true.
thing. They never say that, like, they pried that girl with liquor that they met at the protest with liquor,
But
and I
there
think
was
with pot
also
and stuff like that.
allegations of like date rape drugs and shit, wasn't there?
Yes. I don't remember that, but it
Okay.
wouldn't. Like, I don't
I
remember
might be
that.
wrong. Maybe I'm getting things mixed up.
Because
I
that's the thing, is
do that.
this all came at the same time, where it's like today Danny Masterson got convicted, and he's going to be serving. You remember Hyde from that '70s show?
Yeah.
He got convicted
Oh
today of
no, did
two
he
counts
do
of rape.
things like that?
He raped 2 women.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
That's
was convicted
crazy.
today. He was remanded into custody, so he's in jail now.
Jeez.
Yeah. Um, but it's just so much. My thing is, like, it's the same thing with the Jonathan Majors thing, and I really think it's race in this case, because there's been a lot of talk about replacing Jonathan Majors in the MCU,
Why do you think it's race?
because Jonathan Majors is black, and he was accused of assaulting a woman,
Uh-huh.
and he was charged, and he plays Kang the Conqueror. He was charged about 3 months ago. There are talks
And
about replacing him in that role.
so you think that this is more
I
of
think
like
it's
a
because he's
white
black.
privilege sort of thing.
I think so, because I think if Ezra Miller
You're
was
not, you're
black,
probably not wrong.
if Ezra Miller was black and this allegation came out, they would not still be in this role.
I I agree with you. Probably that's probably right.
Well, and I mean, just look at what Warner Brothers did with Batwoman compared to the Flash. If the Flash, like, if the Flash went
No,
through
you're
reshoots this
probably
long, Batwoman
exactly
they just
right.
axed entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it was it couldn't be released. Like, well, no. I mean, the way Hollywood works, you can reshoot a movie. It's not
Yeah.
there's no such thing in production or in post as an irredeemable movie from a major studio at a $90 million budget. Because you could
Okay.
always throw an extra 30 million at that movie to reshoot stuff, or to edit it, or to do any number of things to make that movie salvageable for a theatrical release.
Okay.
Batwoman was irredeemable and it couldn't come out, but they threw another 150 million at the Flash to do more reshoots.
Bat Batwoman?
Batgirl, I mean.
That Batgirl? Oh.
Yeah, with
I
Leslie
didn't know
Grace.
Batgirl was a movie that was gonna be coming out.
Yeah, it was there
Didn't
were
even hear about it.
there were 3 DC movies that were being made for HBO Max under the old regime. They were doing Wonder Twins, which got canceled in pre-production. They were doing Blue Beetle, which is now coming out in theaters in August, and they were doing Batgirl with the girl who was in the Heights, Leslie Grace, and Brendan Fraser as Firefly as bad guy. They had shot
Hmm.
that. It was in post, and they were going to put it on HBO Max. The new regime comes in, axes the project entirely, and says, "Well, we can't release it. It's unable to be released. We can't do it at all." And it's like,
Mhm.
well, I I don't believe that because you could just release, you could reshoot stuff, and even if you do
Hmm.
120 million on a budget, if you put that in a theater, you'll make that back in 2 weeks, domestic
Oh,
alone.
okay.
So and then for that to happen, and for the Flash to then throw another 150 million or another 100 million to do reshoots on the Flash, I was kind of like, this is a little suspect to me. But no, I think
Hmm.
100% that if the roles were switched and it was Jonathan Majors as the Flash and this happened,
That he would be, because if they would,
this
it would
movie would
be
have been canned.
replaceable.
This movie would have been
Yeah,
canned. Um,
you're probably right.
yeah. Um, and look, I don't think that at
Gosh,
this
people
juncture,
suck.
yeah, at this juncture, I don't think Jonathan Majors should be fired either. I think that until there is a conviction, there you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be jumping in that. Am I wrong in that? Do you think I'm wrong in that? Like, I think that just the charge is not enough to fire. I think it should wait until there's a conviction.
It's situational.
I mean, it's
I
not a
think
good look.
when there's a victim involved,
That's the issue
uh,
too, is that
yes,
it's
I think
how
that
does the
when there
victim
is a,
feel seeing the person who committed the
I
alleged
think,
offense?
yeah, I think that when there is a victim, no matter what the crime, that I think that it is grounds because there's a victim there,
That's true.
until they're proven innocent, and then they should be like rehired on and like totally forgiven, like it never happened, because if they're not convicted, then that should just go away.
Now,
But if
now, what
it's
about this for you? I have
if
one
an
other thing.
well, if it's a victimless crime, I do not think that, I think, that they shouldn't have those, um they shouldn't be penalized for it until, convicted.
Well, what about this? So let's extrapolate the situation out. Jonathan Majors, he gets accused. Hypothetically, he gets convicted or he takes a plea.
Hmm.
He pays off whatever restitution the court deems is necessary. He pays a fine. He pays restitution to the victim. Maybe does jail time. Maybe does probation, parole, whatever. All of that's done. Sentence is over. Should he be allowed to come back?
Who?
Well, anyone in this situation, like they're accused of domestic abuse. They're accused of whatever.
Oh
They're
gosh.
convicted. They get to the end of their sentence. They pay back everything. They do whatever they're supposed to do. They get to the end of their sentence. They've shown they've rehabilitated. Should they be allowed to continue to have a career?
Hmm. um yes, that depends on whether or not you believe in rehabilitation.
Because it's like Tim Allen is in that exact situation.
Yeah.
Because Tim Allen and Robert Downey Jr.
All right, so maybe I think that if there's proof of rehabilitation, which
Or
needs to
like
be
they
very
complete their
significant,
sentence.
and you know, uh, face needs to be saved in the eye of the public, then, um, I guess so. That's hard.
Because like here's
I
the way
think it
I
also
see it.
depends on the severity. I mean, all domestic violence is horrible, but there's different levels of violence involved,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't
Well,
know.
the way I see it is the way the criminal justice system is designed to work, and we're getting a little off the reservation of what we're going to talk about today.
Off the reservation.
I keep say it's a word that's in my vocabulary that I know I shouldn't say, but
No,
it
you
it
shouldn't.
just keeps coming up. Um, at least it's not like a slur or something. Like
No, but it's
I'm not
still
like the
not
guy.
great.
I'm not like the guy who said the N word during the broadcast of the Angels game or the Oakland A's game. But
Oh my
anyway,
gosh, somebody did that?
Yeah, because he was talking about how they went. He's like,
You're
oh, we
far
had.
more in media than I am.
He's like, oh yeah, we had a great day today. We went to the new museum for, and what he meant to say was the Negro Leagues, which was for those who don't
Oh
know,
no, and then he just said the
he said
string
the
of
N-word league.
N-word.
Yeah. And it's like, that's not a mistake. That means you've been using that
Oh,
phrase all your life and you didn't edit it for television. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
That
so
came out way too naturally then, huh?
yeah. Um,
Oh boy, oh,
yeah, that was a rough
that's
one.
rough.
But either way, the idea of the criminal justice system is that you commit an offense, you go to the court decides what an adequate punishment is for you for that offense.
Or
So,
whether or not you even did it.
right. But like let's say you did it and you get convicted. The criminal
Hmm.
justice system decides what your punishment should be from then on out.
Hmm.
Once you complete that punishment, that should be it.
No,
Because you have completed your end of the
I
contract is what
disagree.
the societal contract is. You have done like the court has decided this is your penance for what you did.
There are still um so let's talk about like sex offenders. Um
Let's
instead
go
of
to a
like
nice
a
easy
more
topic.
yeah, instead of like I don't know, because the other topic would be guns, and that's rough. So again, that's far more political.
Mhm.
So sex offenders. So they get convicted, they do their sentence, they do all their programs, they still have to register for the rest
Right.
of their life. They're not
Okay.
they're not redeemed in the eyes of the public as much. Like it's dependent on the crime, and there are stipulations after the fact that you may still need to like this is the cross that you bear after doing what you've done. These you will continue to be punished and marked for, you know, for the rest of your days until you are able to deem or prove in the eyes of the court that it is no longer required for you to do so.
Right, but the court's still
Whether that be
deciding then.
through like an annulment, right? But it's later on. It's still while that's active and convicted and like I'm not saying that people can't be redeemed and have those removed. I mean, there's things as like annulments and expungements and pardons, and that's why they're there. But you have to really jump through some hoops to get them.
Right. But should all that happen in this hypothetical, should all that happen,
So like it's no longer on their record. They've done all their dues. It's not even there. It's like it never happened.
or like in your case of the sex offender, they're no longer on a registry. Like, 'cause you can have that removed. Like,
Sure, they no longer are required to register whenever they move. They're no longer
right,
sure. They have the annulment. They're given their governor's pardon or their presidential pardon, and it's there, but it's not. It's been pardoned, and they aren't required to meet those standard or expectations anymore. And yeah, okay, they should get their life back. They've been pardoned. They've been deemed fit to return to normal society as the rest of the people who haven't done what
mhm.
they've done.
But until they're pardoned, they are
Yeah.
persona non grata.
What?
Persona non grata. It's a Latin phrase that means don't
What's
fuck
it
with this
mean?
person.
Really?
Yeah, kind of. It's not specifically that, but it is kind of like leave this
Oh,
person.
like they're like a bad omen. They're a bad thing. Like
No,
not a don't fuck with me. I'm a
it's more
tough
like if
dude.
you're in a club, it's like we're not going to deal with this person in the club.
Oh, you like excommunicado.
Basically, yes, like in John Wick, yes.
Okay.
Um, onto a more optimistic note, did you hear the big casting
Ah,
news for Deadpool 3?
no, I didn't hear it. But I love the
Um,
Deadpool movies. They're fun.
yeah,
My
so
dad loves them.
my dad couldn't get through the opening credits because he said it was too
Really?
full of itself. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, my dad loves those movies because he thinks they're just a freaking riot, which makes me so happy because he's happy. Um,
Um, so allegedly, so we already knew that Ryan Reynolds is coming back. We knew that Hugh Jackman was going to be back as Wolverine. We
I
knew
didn't know
that
that. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was the first thing they announced.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's back as
Hugh
Wolverine.
Jackman's gonna be back as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really excited about that. I cried in the Wolverine movie at the end because I
Oh,
knew Hugh
Logan?
Jackman was never gonna. Yeah, thank you. In Logan, because I knew Hugh Jackman. He said he was never gonna come back as Wolverine. I bawled my eyes out at the end of that movie,
Yeah,
and
it
that was
is.
the reason.
It's a. It was a good movie too. I mean, not just
It
that.
was,
Like,
but I just
um,
personally, that's why I bawled. But
but yeah. So we have that. We also have Mobius from Loki is in the cast.
oh, okay.
Owen Wilson's character from Loki is in the cast.
Is he gonna? Oh, it is it's the character then.
Yes.
Oh, so Owen Wilson's coming.
Allegedly Tom Hiddleston as
Okay.
Loki. Um, what's his name coming back?
Is
Cyclops.
Loki? Wait, Tom Hiddleston. That's the guy who usually
Play,
plays Loki.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was his name.
The guy who Cyclops from the Deadpool movies is coming back.
Okay,
Not Cyclops. Colossus from the Deadpool
I
movies.
figured that's who you were talking about.
Um, Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend are both coming back.
Oh, sweet.
Blind Al is coming back. The old black
Remind
lady.
me.
The old black lady who's blind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. She's a cute character.
And then a few more little tidbits came out about who's in this movie.
Okay.
Famke Jensen will be reprising.
Who's that?
She played Jean Grey in X-Men, X-Men 2, and X-Men 3.
Oh, really?
Um,
That'll be cool.
James Marsden will be reprising.
Who dat?
He played Cyclops in the first 3 X-Men movies.
Oh, that's exciting too. Are they
And
old now? Do
not
they
really.
look as good as Hugh Jackman, or do
I mean,
they?
James Marsden is still pretty hot. I'll say that.
Yeah,
He was in Sonic the Hedgehog.
James Marsden. Let's Google him.
And then the third person, Halle Berry.
Oh, okay.
And Halle Berry is still hot. I'll say.
Oh yeah, James Marsden is attractive.
Yeah.
Is that
All
what he
3 of them
looks like
still look
now?
good. Just look him up in Sonic. That's the most recent movie I've seen him in was Sonic
Okay.
2.
He was in the Princess Bride, not Princess. It was one of those princess movies where they like dance or something, right?
Enchanted.
Yeah.
Enchanted and
James
Disenchanted.
Marsden Sonic.
Yeah. He doesn't look
Oh
bad.
yeah. No, he looks good. He
Yeah,
looks like that other guy who doesn't age. The guy he's in. Oh, he's the guy who was like the super healthy vegan nut guy in Parks and Rec.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Rob Lowe.
Yeah. He the other guy who doesn't age. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be fun. Allegedly, also there are 2 other villains reprising, one MCU villain, one X-Men villain. I've heard the
Okay.
X-Men villain is allegedly Sabretooth, played by Liev Schreiber.
That'll be cool.
So that'll be I'm on board with all of this.
I always love like the X-Men cast and the X-Men movies. I wasn't a fan of the last few, but like
I
the
don't think
first
anyone
ones
I don't think anyone really
forever
was a
ago
fan of
was very good.
I don't think anyone liked Dark Phoenix, and I don't think anyone liked Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Even though Apocalypse did give us that really awesome Magneto suit,
that's true.
and like him there with the orb of metal around him, I was like, God damn it, this is exactly what I wanted, and it's just in a shitty movie.
Yeah.
It's the one blemish on Oscar Isaac's filmography, besides Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
Yeah. So, what else was there from Marvel? I feel like there was other Marvel things that were happening that I forgot about. They're making a live action Miles Morales movie.
Miles Morales?
Yeah, the Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Miles Morales.
Miles, Miles.
Oh,
The main
okay.
character of
It
Spider-Verse.
auto-corrected me too. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw the commercial, I think, or like a sneak peek thing, whatever they do.
Well,
Like
there's
a 10-second bit.
there's the animated movie that comes out tomorrow with Miles Morales, and he also
Oh,
has
but
a
they're doing
live
a
action.
live action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They're
well,
also
that'll be cute.
Yeah, they're also doing a animated Spider-Woman movie with Haley
Is he
Steinfeld.
funny like the rest of the Spider-Mans? Or is
Yes,
like he's
he is.
serious?
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
Well, that's good.
And because there's a rule if you have a black character, they have to have electric powers. Miles Morales can also punch people with electricity.
Is that true? Is
You
that a
know,
rule?
it's not a rule, but it's definitely a trope where it's like for whatever reason, every black character has electric powers, or the
Who
majority
else
of
has electric powers?
Static Shock, Black Lightning, what's his name, Black Adam. Um, look up black superhero electric powers, and you'll see there's like a list.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure if I did black superheroes
It's
powers,
definitely a trope.
like I can't narrow my search that much
Black
because then I'm gonna get exactly that.
superhero hero electric powers. Yeah, black superhero electric powers. Electric black guy is the name of the trope.
Okay, but if you search that, that's what you're gonna
No,
get.
I'm gonna send you the link. It's on TV tropes. It's definitely a trope. It's not just me making that up.
I think you're making it up.
But yeah, so he can do electric punches. There you go. He
Oh,
sends it a
okay.
link. But it's like yeah, I'm on board with this. I'm excited for the Haley Steinfeld led Spider Woman movie as well. Because she plays Gwen Stacy in the animated stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we got release dates for that was it. We didn't talk about the release dates for Echo or Loki that are coming this year.
Oh,
So next month we have what's it called? Secret Invasion. Um the new show with Nick Fury. Next and
okay.
that's 6 episodes starting in mid-June. October, the first Friday in October is when Loki starts. So October 6th is the first episode of Loki.
Hmm.
November 29th, dropping all at once, is Echo, the TV show that's a spinoff of Hawkeye about the girl who's deaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's being binge dropped on November 29th.
do you expect it to be good? I mean, like I'm all for a like a deaf character, that'd be cool, but I
I'm
don't know. She wasn't like
interested
super exciting in it.
I'm
So,
interested in this show in so much as it is a vehicle into the new season of Daredevil. Because
oh.
Kingpin's back and Daredevil's back, and I will watch this show for that reason. I'm not particularly engaged and I think this is the reason they're doing this as a binge and not as a weekly release.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of a storytelling cul-de-sac where it's like
Okay.
Loki is building toward Kang Dynasty, it's building towards Secret Wars. Ironheart will be building towards Secret Wars. Um, this is building toward Daredevil, and Daredevil is going to Daredevil. That's it. It's not going anywhere else, as we know
So,
right now.
um, I hate to cut you off, but should we talk about Star Wars?
We should, yeah, we probably should. Um, so we're talking this week about Jedi Survivor, the most recent Star Wars video game that came out a little over a month ago.
So it
As
has that
part of
guy in it, that the ginger guy
yeah,
who he's in what's that?
Gotham.
Shameless.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he's in that. And um I'll tell you what I know about it, which is very little as I haven't played it,
Okay.
but I do remember watching people play it, and it seemed like a very cool story. Do you agree?
I agree. I do really like what they did here. This one feels more like it is belonging in the Star Wars universe in a wider way more than the first game did, if that makes sense. The first game is very centered on, you know, Cal Kestis and his story with his team on the Mantis. This feels like it fits in wider with the wider universe, and it feels more like the promise of what the new canon system was designed to be when they teased it back when they started doing this.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of High Republic in this game, way more than you
Oh,
would have thought going into it.
okay.
Because one of the things is the entire point of this game is he is looking like. Do you remember in Obi-Wan Kenobi? They were looking for. There's this thing called the Hidden Path, which was kind of like an underground railroad for Force-sensitive people to avoid the Empire.
No,
You don't remember that, Obi-Wan Kenobi? It's like he goes to
I don't
the
remember that
place.
at all.
Yeah, it's like he's in the base and he sees and he notices the symbol and he looks at it and he's like, oh, Quinlan Voss was here. Like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. That's a thing that exists in between 3 and 4.
Okay.
It just I like the idea. It's an interesting idea. So all of that's happening, and they want to find a base of operations for this. And there's a planet that was hidden that held a Jedi temple, I believe. But it was active during the High Republic. It's called Tanalorr. Um,
Okay.
so they're trying to find this planet Tanalorr, and that's what the game is about. You're trying to find Tanalorr.
Okay.
You get to go to Coruscant. You get to go to a bunch of places. You get to customize your lightsaber. There's a lot of side quests.
It
It
seemed pretty like customizable, like
Yeah,
where you get to really pick what your character looks like,
yeah,
even though you don't actually get to pick what your character looks like.
right. It's like your Cal will feel like your version of Cal, where it's like you can
Yeah.
pick the facial hair, pick the hairstyle, the outfit, all that kind of stuff.
Kind of like Red Dead.
Yes, yes. Or like GTA, any other Rockstar game, you can kind of do that, where it's like you are always playing as Michael or Trevor in GTA 5 or Franklin, but
Mm-hmm.
you can customize the appearance within that paradigm.
Okay.
Um, and your lightsaber is fully customizable. And I think the thing I really love about this game is how your lightsaber is modular, and you can have it where it's one blade, you can have two blades dual wielded, you can have it
That's
double
really cool.
bladed, and you
Does
can
that
switch up your
truly
play style.
affect the combat style?
Yes, it is entirely dependent on how you play best. Where it's
Oh.
like the
Now
two
do you get to
lightsabers.
choose like more like a force build? Like is there a build on your abilities or no?
No, that's more. It's more of a like the force abilities are the force abilities. This is more for physical
Okay.
combat, and you can also have a blaster, so you can shoot people too.
So is it more of an alignment sort of play?
It's more like the difference in weapon type in an RPG. Like, did you play Elden Ring?
You didn't.
Okay. Well, like if I'm trying to think of another. Do you ever play Fable? You're an Xbox gamer, so you probably have played Fable at some point. Really, you never played
No,
Fable?
no.
Okay. And she nodded her head. That's why I said, really, you haven't? But it's like in that game, you can pick between a sword. You can have like a heavy broadsword. You can have a smaller, like a rapier. You can have a battle axe, and each one has different advantages and disadvantages depending on whichever gameplay style you have. And it's the same kind of thing
Okay.
with this, where it's like your
So it's
stance is slightly
weapons
different.
customization, not so much character customization, except for physical appearance.
Well, I think that it's like if you were to use the two blades
It's not
as
like
two
character
separate blades.
builds.
Right, it's more like whatever gameplay, like if you want quicker, like like having two blades will have quicker attacks but it'll do less damage. Like it's that kind of thing
Oh,
where it's like
okay.
whatever, and
And
it's
that's how it
monitored.
would change your play style.
Right, it's whatever best suits you. If you want to do more range, you can prioritize the blaster and you can just use the blaster
Mhm.
for ranged attacks. It's that
So
kind of
it's not
thing.
like you can choose. See, that's something I think is missing in like most um like Star Wars games is I'd love to just do like a super force build. And that would
Right.
be such a cool way to play. Like I get it, it's kind of like a magic character or whatever, but that's what I want.
Well, like you can kind of do that here because it's like you don't
Can
have to
you?
use the lightsabers, but you definitely, I mean, you kind of have to. But either way, it is like the game is really fun, and I think the thing that the game does too is you played Tears of the Kingdom, so you know how Tears of the Kingdom begins, where it's like you're at
Hmm.
full power, you have everything, you have the Master Sword, you have full hearts, you have full stamina, and then you meet the gloom, and then you get put back to you the way you were at the beginning of Breath of the Wild, where you have 3 hearts, no stamina, and no
Yeah.
weapons, and except now you don't have an arm either.
I think we're gonna have to talk about Tears of the Kingdom next week though,
Yes. Is this your
for
way of
sure.
saying you're
We'll have
running out
to
of
put
time?
that on the No, I'm just saying that
Oh, yeah,
I
we
want
are
to talk
near.
about it a lot.
Yeah, we are
That's
nearing an
all.
hour.
That's
We
what
can do
I'm
that. We
saying.
can do that even as a
So
separate
I
episode on Beware of
pencil
Spoilers.
it for next week
Right.
is what I'm
Um,
saying.
but yeah, so it is what's it called? It's really fun in that regard, and I think that you get to keep all your powers. You don't have to start fresh.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
you are
okay.
like the first game is about becoming a Jedi Knight, This game is about going from Jedi Knight to Jedi Master without the guidance of the Jedi Council as guardrails.
Oh.
Um,
Hmm. Do you find that there's like an alignment thing where like you're like being drawn to the dark side
See,
or no?
here's the
Is that
problem.
like a light and
And
is
again,
there
I'm just gonna put spoilers here. I'm gonna say spoilers because there are spoilers for the end of the game. You do get the ability to use the dark side by the end of the
that's
game.
cool.
The problem is there's no repercussion for doing it, and it's horrifically overpowered. So when you do New Journey, it is you can just plow your way through the game using the dark side because there's no repercussion for
That's
doing it.
exactly the way they built the new Harry Potter game.
That was the thing that I said in my review when I did it for the Smithtown Chronicle. I said,
Mm-hmm.
what's the point of having this in here if you're not going to have a morality system attached to it?
Yeah.
Why have the
Yeah,
unforgivable
because
curse
like
if it
once
does
you got
nothing?
all those, you just walked around and cursed people, and you were like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, I'm just gonna wreck everything."
just murder people
Yeah,
indiscriminately, and there's a cooldown on it, but who cares?
yeah, but it's not that much. Like,
Yeah,
not with some of the intense builds that you can do with it.
right,
Like,
exactly. It's that's my problem with this is that if you're going to put that in, have it go. And one of the things I did like about this game was they showed the lightsaber bleed or the kyber crystal bleed for the first time, and I did appreciate that.
yeah, but that's
I know
okay.
you hate that. I know we've been over
I'm
this.
not
You
into that. It's supposed to be synthetic, and that's it.
um, but then how would
That's it.
this High Republic Jedi have gotten a red lightsaber? Because he was in a Bacta thing for centuries, and then he comes out and he got his regular
High
lightsaber.
Republic Jedi. What?
Yeah, one of the guys in the
Who?
game, he's a dark Jedi.
Oh,
He was a High Republic Jedi who
because
turned to the dark side.
I don't know, but it's wrong.
I don't
There's
know.
the
I like this
flaw
better.
in there.
I like
You're
this better than
wrong.
the synthetic.
I'm sorry, but you have poor taste.
I don't know. This is coming from you, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. Um,
Well, I'm sending a lot of salt your way, so
yeah,
whatever.
I can see that. Um, but yeah, it is a I do genuinely think that this game is better than the first. Um, it is buggy a little bit, but eventually the bugs will all be squashed as they put out more updates, and the game is already more stable than it was at release.
When was
Um,
it released?
about a month ago, a little over a month ago, because it was late March.
Oh, oh, everything that I knew about this game was from the first one, then I guess.
Yes, yeah, that's what I figured. You said that you've been watching a lot of people play it, and I was like, she definitely hasn't been watching that many people play
No.
it because the game came
Why
out
you just
right. Oh, maybe it
why
was
you not calling
April.
me out on my bullshit? Come on. You don't
I was
usually
gonna
have an
let it
issue with
ride.
that.
No, I was gonna let it ride on this and see if you figured it out on your own.
I did, I got there.
Um, yeah, what was it? I think that yeah, this game's definitely better than the first, by a lot. Um,
Really?
and I think that this year is, if we want to talk about video games, this year is one of the best years for video games up until like keep in mind we are right now going into June, and
Yeah, I agree. This year was a great year for video games.
we've already like Tears of the Kingdom alone is
So we got Tears of the Kingdom, Atomic Heart, the Harry Potter game. Now this
Hi-Fi.
game, the Star Wars game. Yep.
Yep, Hi-Fi Rush.
I don't know that one.
Okay, you have an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
You have Game Pass.
Hi-Fi Rush. Nope.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody got money for that.
It's free. It's free with Game Pass. That's how I played it. I played it on PC Game Pass.
Hi-Fi
It's
Rush.
this beautiful, like you ever played Beautiful Joe back in the day? That's probably the
Oh,
best one.
that's not really my thing.
Oh my, this game was phenomenal.
Was
Before
it
Legend of Zelda, it was my favorite game of the year.
how is this a new game?
Came out in January.
January?
Yeah.
How many hours can you put into it?
I think I you could probably do it in like 20.
That's not enough hours.
Well, that's
I
why
like a bigger game.
it's
I
like
can't get
it's
into a game that's not going to take me like
it's not
weeks.
open world. It's a very different kind of game. There was also they
Is it puzzle?
remade.
It
No,
looks kind of like it's a puzzle
it's
game.
like an action kind of, what's the one I'm looking for here?
Yeah,
Like it
20 hours isn't a big enough game.
Yeah. There was also the pixel remasters of all the games for Final Fantasy, the first six Final Fantasy games. They did these HD pixel remasters of that. Metroid Prime
I know you love the
Remastered.
Final
I
Fantasy
do.
games.
Metroid Prime Remastered came out this year. The original Metroid Prime got remastered on the Switch. That game was really good. They remade Resident Evil 4, and that was phenomenal. I mean,
Hmm.
Resident Evil 4 is a top 10 game of all time.
I wouldn't count, even without counting remakes. I
Oh,
think that
even
this
if you
has
those
been a
out.
great year for games.
Like Tron Identity was really good too, and that's a fucking visual novel, and that's not usually my thing, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was there?
Um,
And we still have Diablo 4 is coming out, and that game's getting reviewed
yeah.
phenomenally.
Is
Uh,
it?
yeah,
I'm
it's
really nervous that it's gonna be like so pay to win that it's gonna be boring and not as fun as, yeah.
can I tell you a secret? I've
Sure.
never played a single Diablo game.
That's unfortunate. So you can't actually give a good review.
Right
So
now, Diablo has an 88 on Metacritic, which is huge. An 88
yeah,
out of
but they
100.
pay for it.
No, you can't pay for
But did they
reviews.
pay for it?
Street Fighter
Sure,
6.
sure.
Street Fighter 6 is coming out next month, and that's got a 92 on Metacritic. Final Fantasy 16 is coming out this year, and
Mm,
that game's gonna be great. The new Spider-Man game. Like, did you see the game? I sent you the gameplay trailer for that new Spider-Man game. Like, tell me that doesn't
I
look
think you
fucking
did, yeah.
awesome. Like,
That's like pretty cool.
the new
Um,
gameplay for the
but
Venomized suit.
no, it's
Um,
pretty cool. So, we'll have to do more video game talk next time.
yeah,
But I also wanted to mention, I don't remember if I mentioned it already, but there's a release date now for uh Futurama, the new season, which I am freaking stoked about. Is that a thing that you like?
I
Was that ever something you
here's the
got
thing about
into?
Futurama. I didn't I never had anything against it. I didn't watch it until the last season, and I really enjoyed it. I just never got around to going
Here's
back
the
and
thing.
rewatching it.
You should.
Yes.
Highly recommend. It's on Hulu. It's so freaking good.
I've been rewatching Family Guy. I think we've talked about that.
Yeah, we did. And I'm sorry for you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm in
Um
season 10, so I'm like halfway through.
but but I have a feeling this is not going to be a waste of your time. So you should try this instead. Um
Yeah, that I'm gonna see. My thing right now is I need stuff I can't. I'm not gonna actively watch because I'm writing something and I can't. It's actually something I can't. So like the best thing that's happened to me in the last 2 weeks has been the merger of Discovery Plus into Max because I can just throw on House Hunters and just put that on.
oh. And then
Um,
your work ends up with like, we're buying a house.
no houses have been
I'm a
bought.
butterfly catcher,
I
and she works at home, and I'm getting a $2.5 million house.
I did what the hell, we did the
That's my
house
budget.
buying. No joke. Actually, that was the origin of Sizzle Reel, which I put out last August. Came from watching a lot of HGTV
Really?
because I was like, what if you had a show where it's like you have a show like that, but one of the producers becomes so obsessed with one of the women on the show, he starts killing people, and then it evolves
Damn.
from there into something. It's a horror.
That's a cool premise. I like
Yeah.
that.
It
That was
it
your
evolves
idea?
from there. Yeah.
That's a cool
Um.
idea. I like that.
It didn't end
Did
with
you write
that.
it
It
as a
was
screenplay or did you
I
write it
did. What
as
do you think?
I know. I just wish that you'd write it in a different way
Write it as a
so I
novel.
could like it.
Well,
Yes.
that one was designed to be low budget because we're going to be shooting the short this year. I have my camera. I was playing around
Who's
with
the
that.
we? Do you
Well,
have people?
me and whoever I hired to be the two actresses in it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
which when I put it like that, it sounds like I'm going to be shooting a porno, but I'm not.
A little bit.
Um, but yeah,
Just
it
don't
is.
have the couch out. Give them their own
No.
chairs.
We're shooting in a park. That's the goal. Is because we want to do it as low. Well, I want to do it as low budget as possible. So
Okay.
park, you don't have to pay a location fee.
And then what
To
will you do with it? Will you like submit it to like film festivals and
Yeah,
stuff?
I have a distribution plan that I've been working on.
Well, if you submit it to one of the film festivals here,
That was the
that would
plan.
be
I
cool.
do have New Hampshire on my list.
Yeah, because I know that they do stuff at like NHTI.
New Hampshire, what's the exact? I have the exact one written
And then
down
they
here.
also do it at like Red, uh Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget what it's called. It's red something.
Do you want to hear the full list?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, give me the New Hampshire stuff.
The New Hampshire, I only have the New Hampshire Film Festival. That's the only one I have there.
Where's that?
That's a great question. It's one of the big ones too. New Hampshire
Red River Theater. That maybe you could. I
Film
think they do some film festivals
Festival.
there.
Well, because New Hampshire is an Academy Award not qualifying one.
Oh,
This
is
one,
it?
yeah, it's like that one, Hamptons, Sundance. There are a few others that are considered Academy Award qualifying, where if you get in there, you are in contention to be nominated for best live action or animated short, depending on what you're doing. So
That's
the
pretty
New
cool.
Hampshire Film Festival is, hang on, what are the venues here? It's in
I
Portsmouth.
guess give me like your New England. What'd you just say?
Portsmouth?
That's funny.
Did I pronounce that wrong?
Yes.
It's Port S Mouth.
Portsmouth.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah,
So
New
just so
England.
you know, when you submit it, don't call it that when if you
Yeah,
have to talk to somebody because they're gonna be pissed and they're gonna make fun of you and they're gonna be like, fuck this guy.
well, like I have like a lot of like it's a lot of New York and a lot and some West Coast. So it's like New York Film, New York City Independent, Long Island, Hamptons. Albany
That
has a
makes
film
sense.
festival now.
That's cool.
Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and then the other ones were just contingent on where do I know people who live there. So I put Seattle on the list because that's where Peter is.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
You're not gonna drive that far.
no,
Or
see, we
or
have these cool
fly.
things. Yeah, just we have these cool things called planes. Um, and then
You're
Woodstock and Chicago. But
not
the
gonna
rest are
fly out to Seattle
if I get in, why not? If they have a good prize.
if they have what?
If they have, I don't know what the prize is, but there is a prize for that one. I know that. But it's like the budget. I broke down the budget. The budget for production is $500, and that's
You're gonna spend
paying.
more than that on tickets.
Well, here's the thing. It's because it's like I have the camera already. I need a new audio mixer. I need to pay the two actresses. That's the majority of it because I just need to, do all of that. But I get to amortize the cost of the what's it called of the audio mixer across multiple projects. So that is 199, but that's not all in one project. The
Okay.
actresses are $200. I'm paying $100 each. That's what SAG minimum is under the current contract, but that's going to change with the new contract.
Go down the street and just be like, yo, you want to be in a movie? And they're gonna be like, that's
Yeah.
not my job.
Oh yeah, and then you get arrested, and then it's a.
Yeah, they're gonna think you're a John.
Yeah. But
Ugh.
the like all of that's $500, give or take tax. Um,
Oof.
the distribution budget is 1,150.
Maybe one of your siblings could be in it, and then you could save some money there.
Well, that's not the issue. If saving $100 there is an issue. The issue is the budget for production, distribution. The production budget I can deal with.
For distribution,
Well, that's film festival. You have to pay to submit to film festivals.
you do.
Yeah, you gotta pay an entrance fee.
Like how much?
It varies. I have there are some cheap ones like Long Island International Film is 45, but that's one that I'm gonna definitely do because if you shoot on Long Island,
You
there's
should
a
see if
block just for that.
I feel like that's something that there would be like a scholarship or something, like something that you could apply for where they'll give you that money to submit your stuff to a film festival.
Well, I was thinking of doing GoFundMe to cover that
Good luck with that. That's not realistic.
and get the listeners to pay.
You're funny.
Um,
You should look into seeing if there's scholarships or
well, no, but the thing
something.
is too, it's like with the distribution, you don't have to do it all at once. Like it's not like
Yeah,
the
that's
budget for
true.
production is a upfront cost. The distribution is over the course of a year, you have to pay these fees to get in. And then what'll happen is if you do well, it'll money will come in to cover that cost for the
How
next
do you know
time.
whether or not they do well? Like who's reading it? Like what is that?
Well, when you go, it's they judge and you get a prize if you
Oh, there's
yeah.
judges? I've been
Yeah.
to a couple, but I've just watched and Mm, mm, I'm a bad like audience member
So I have a
because I
question
get
here.
bored and I leave.
I have a question here for you. How is it that
Sure.
you've been to film festivals before and we've never talked about this before and we've known each other for 10 years now?
I don't know, you don't ask.
How
I
have you
don't talk
not
about
brought
myself very much. We just talk about you.
Wow, that makes it feel that makes it sound good. I have
I don't
asked
know.
you before about New Hampshire Film Festival because I was like, why the fuck is New Hampshire Film Festival an Academy
It's
Award
not something that I
qualifying?
go and I look for. I have like people in my life who say, "Hey, will you go to this thing with me?" And I go, "Yeah, okay, sure."
Ah, okay.
It's not something I go for and like go looking for. That's probably why we've it's not my interest really. It's their interest and I kindly go along
Yeah, I'm going
until
to
I get
Tribeca
way
this
too
week.
bored and I leave.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to Tribeca next week. The Tribeca Film Festival. I'm gonna be seeing Elemental at the premiere,
Oh.
the new Pixar movie. They're doing the New York
Oh,
premiere on Saturday
that's
the 10th.
right. I that is you showed me that and then I went and I looked it up because I was like, is this something that I want to be spoiled for me? And then when I saw what it was, I was like, no, thank you. I want to watch that because I really like Pixar.
Yeah, it'll be what's it called? I'm gonna be seeing that on the 10th. I'm still waiting to hear back from Warner Brothers about seeing The Flash early, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. I think that today's episode may put the kibosh on that a little bit. Um,
I just ruin a lot of things for you.
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying just like in general. It's not like I've been particularly nice to Warner Brothers over the last, I don't know, 6 months with this whole Flash issue. Like,
Mhm.
because it's like I've had a problem with this fucking movie since the inception that they're making this movie, and it's like, well, why not just bring Grant in? Like, why are we beating around the bush? Just have Grant lead the movie and be done with it. Like,
Mm.
I'd be
Yeah,
happy with
but
that.
could you just hurry up and write a book so that way I can read the things
Okay,
and enjoy it?
I had an idea for a novel, but I've been so busy with the other stuff that it's kind of on the back burner because it's
I
like,
know you want to be a producer and like all, and you want to
see, because
be a
that's the thing is
director
if I can
and
get the funding out of this short, I have two projects that are basically ready to go. That are
yeah,
features that are reasonably low budget. Like with the right cast, I can probably do it sub 500,000.
okay.
But I need to, the short's gonna come first.
But that's
Um,
what interests you is the movie aspect, the
yes,
motion pictures of it.
yeah. Is that meant to try and be like an accent from a 1940s movie about Hollywood?
That was rude.
Um, yeah. Stepping out of the set of All About Eve is Josie this week. Um, yeah, so we have the horror movie is definitely one that's in contention for the project that is the first feature.
I
Um,
love scary movies and I think they do well when they're done. Like that's more interesting in a film festival. So I think
yes, because
I
that's the
love
thing
that
too.
idea.
That's the thing too about horror is that they have special blocks just for horror movies.
I I like horror, so
You might want to
that could
check
be
that out
fun.
when they do New Hampshire. You might want to check out the Midnight because it's always called like Midnight Madness or something like that.
Yeah, I've been to it. I could just see. Um, I haven't been. It was years ago that I went, so maybe I should go again, and I can tell you what's up. I know last time I was bored to tears,
See, that's the thing is you're gonna get a lot of introspective movies if you go to a film festival because it's all people telling their own story. That's what you
and
get a lot of
I
for these first.
everybody's fucking story is so boring. Everyone's. Tell somebody else's.
But it's like here's the thing: would you go and see let's use Daisy Ridley's new movie that I saw. Sometimes I think about dying. It's a movie about a girl who works a dead end job and is just kind of neuroatypical, but
Mm-hmm.
fantasizes about her own death. Um,
Okay.
it's a very slow, thoughtful like thing. It doesn't really have any resolution. It just kind of goes. Um, it's it's about her coming out of her shell and becoming her own person and being less shy and and all of that. Like, is that a movie that would bore you to tears?
Yeah, probably.
That's the thing. You don't like Before Midnight is one of it's a recent movie that I
What
watched
did
that
I
I love.
just watch that just watched a movie that was described as not Cocaine Bear, a different one. I what the
1001.
heck did I just watch? But it was described like as a movie that's perfect for people like it's got the ADHD thing going on for it where it's like this is moving nice and fast. Like here's the next thing and the next thing.
It came out this year.
Yeah,
Are you talking about the new Fast and the Furious movie?
no, no, because I
I
haven't
saw
seen
that.
that.
I saw that, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." Jason Momoa is just having a blast in that movie, and it's so fun.
I saw on your Paramount Peacock that you do
Yeah.
like the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yes, I did watch. I did watch. I've
What
only
the
seen
heck
5
was
of
it?
them now.
I think we had to rent it. I also watched the John Wick 4 movie. Was not super duper into it. I really
Really?
like the John Wick movies. I think maybe I just wasn't in the mood.
It's also
Um,
really long, and I think if you're gonna watch
it
it at
was
home, it
so
may have
long.
that may not work as well at home.
Yeah, because I had like this, I was like ready to grab my screen. I think I just wasn't into it at the time, but
I
I would
watched it.
probably rewatch it another time.
I watched it in an IMAX theater, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like at one point, it's like there's like that first action sequence at the Osaka Continental, like
Hmm.
that first big action set piece. It's like it gets to the end, and I wasn't the only one. Like 7 or 8 other people in the theater got up to go to the bathroom as soon as it ended, because it's like that action sequence goes on for 50 minutes straight with no break.
We're doing a bad job of talking about Star Wars today.
We are for the second consecutive week.
Yes.
But it's like
I
I like. Well,
think
I
that
mean,
just
Daisy
shows that
Ridley was in the movie.
we've got like kind of boring topics these last this week. That's I think that's
And it's like I don't want to fully spoil the game because the game just came out. Like that's the other
yeah.
thing is the game is fairly recent. I don't want to spoil it completely. Um,
Now this is gonna kill me that I don't know what that fucking movie is because I just watched it.
it
Can I
it
have a minute and go find out?
yeah. Go ahead. I'll start
Okay.
plugging what we're doing over the next few weeks while you do that. Let me pull up my calendar while Josie goes to do whatever. If you want to keep track of what we're doing, you can go to mwpnews.com. On that website, we will be keeping up news stories for things that happen throughout the week, be it new trailers, be it movie reviews, be it anything like that. You can find it all on there. We will have ads on that site. If you click the links, it does help us out, including Gamefly, which is our big sponsor there, more than anything else. For this podcast, we have next week we will have Attack of the Clones. The week after that, we will have Thrawn Treason. The week after that, we will have season 2 of The Mandalorian, and the week after that, we will have The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. That's the next big batch of episodes. If you're listening to this and you want to know what we're doing on Beware of Spoilers in the coming weeks, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse tomorrow evening. I'm super excited for that. We might have past. No, we're not going to have past lives this week because Past Lives is what's it called? Past Lives is not being shown at my theater, so we will not be talking about that. We will have um Transformers Rise of the Beast next Wednesday. We have next Saturday we have Elemental. That will be a spoiler-free review, and we have The Flash on the 15th. Next week on 30-minute reviews, we'll be talking about Bumblebee. And the week after that, we will be talking about. I haven't decided if we're going to do a DC movie or if we're going to do a Pixar movie, but that is up for debate right now. Josie is
The
back.
movie, the movie's the D&D movie.
Did you like it?
I really liked it.
It was
But I
really
was
good.
told I really liked it. But I was told that I liked it because it was made for ADHD people because it just jumps all over the place.
I don't
And
think
like
I,
it
I
made
think that
me
that's just a way to be
so happy.
dismissive
I really liked it.
about action movies now. It's like it works. That was such a good movie, and it didn't make back its
I
budget, which is
really
a
liked it.
shame.
I really enjoyed it. I would rewatch it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
on Paramount Plus. You don't have to pay for it.
oh, okay. So, is are we ready for my question?
Yes. Do you want me to go over what we're talking about next week, just that way you have
Sure.
it? It's just Attack of the Clones is next week's episode.
Attack of the Clones. Okie doke.
Well, we will have a lot to talk about with Attack of the Clones.
Okay. So, my question is, if you, I know you're not a big fan of like dressing up, but like
No,
if
I'm
you
not.
could cosplay and cosplay well and like you had the budget for it and stuff, like and like your perfect costume was made for you by somebody else and you just got to wear it to feel cool, who would you cosplay as?
Here's the thing, and I don't want anyone who cosplays to take this the wrong way.
I don't want to hear it. Just answer the question. I know exactly what you're going to say, but I don't care about it. So I do know exactly what you're going to say.
The extent of my cosplaying is going to Comic-Con wearing a t-shirt that is somewhat related to Comic-Con. Like right now, I'm wearing
Okay.
one of my Star Wars
So I
t-shirts.
know, I guess I'm saying you don't need to go to I guess
So
I'm just saying that you could dress up and you
so
could go wherever the heck you
that's somehow
wanted.
worse.
You could do it at home or
So
something.
let's put it this way. You make the costume, and I don't want to hurt your feelings.
No, who do you want to dress up as? Like, who would you want to? Is it a character, or would you just want to wear some cool Jedi robes, or like, would you not want to dress up as a character?
I just wouldn't want to dress up as a character. That just I
You
don't
wouldn't want to dress up as a
I
character.
don't feel like it's nothing against people who cosplay. I just would feel silly dressed up in a costume.
Okay, okay.
What
So
about
you're not
you?
into the costumes. What would you? What? Well, okay. Then what would you be willing to? So like, you have to. You're going to this like Star Wars themed party. What are you gonna wear? But somebody else is gonna make it for you. They're gonna make it awesome.
Someone, and it has to be something costumey. It can't be one of my 900 Star Wars t-shirts.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It needs to be cool. Like, what are you gonna wear in
I
this
would
like?
say if I'm going to do that, I would say it would have to be probably Anakin's black costume from Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, so you'd cosplay as Anakin,
Because
or would you
black
just
is
do it
because
as?
I am large and black is
I
slim.
knew that's what you were gonna get at. Gosh darn it! You were gonna say that you couldn't wear the thing. That's stupid. So,
Well, it's not
right?
just that. It's like also it's like the reason why I picked that. I look good in black.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So, but you wouldn't cosplay as it. You'd just wear it to like blend in with the crowd.
Right.
You
It's not
wouldn't
like
be like, I'm Anakin. You'd just
if
be like, I'm a Jedi.
right, if I was going to Comic-Con, I wouldn't, I wouldn't do it. But if it's like a party where it's like you kind of have to, then you feel
Yeah, or
obligated.
you'd
And
stand out.
I can't be like, can I just not come? Which would probably be my next question.
This is so sad. Oh,
Like,
all
do I
right,
have to?
fine. Yeah. So I guess your answer is that you wouldn't.
I just don't feel comfortable
Um,
cosplaying. I just feel like I would feel like a tool the entire time. And
all
not that
right.
anyone who cosplays is an ass or anything like that. That's not what I'm implying. But it's like I would feel uncomfortable doing it the entire time, and that's a me problem, not an everyone else problem. Because
Yeah,
obviously,
well,
if you
that's
go
a
into a room full of
stupid
people.
problem that you have. Gosh
So what's
darn it.
your answer? Because I feel like you asked this question because you had an answer for it.
I do have an answer. Um, so I gosh, I would love to have a really cool costume where I could do a gender bender of Han Solo.
I think we talked about this before.
Have we?
I think you've brought up
I think
your
that this is
gender bent
something that
Han
I've been
Solo.
wanted for a very long time. I don't think I've ever talked about it on our show.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned it before. Your desire to be a gender bent Han
But
Solo.
just to you, I don't think that I've said it on any of the podcasts.
Uh,
I think so. I think
maybe.
I've only said it to you. I don't think I've ever said it in a podcast. But yes, I would love to do like where it's like the costume's awesome. I definitely look like Han Solo, but I also have a bit of like sexy lady in it. Like that would be cool.
So what, you wear like the cleavage out and you're like, "Hi, I'm Han
No,
Solo."
but like not trashy, but also not butch.
Well, I
Like
didn't
I
say
don't know, somewhere in the
trashy.
middle. Probably more towards butch than
Oh, so
but
like you're
like
gonna go and buy the fucking gauze and like tape yourself down and be like,
mm,
"Hello."
nope, didn't say that I was going to cross dress. Just like a little bit more. Yeah, no. Just like no, because I want it to be gender bender. Like I want it to be female Han Solo. I think that'd be cool.
Ah,
I
okay.
would love to get to dress up as Han Solo.
There you go. Yeah, I feel like we've definitely had this conversation before. Oh, we gotta get going. My laptop's dying.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so we will be back next week with Attack of the Clones. Until then, have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Wait, hang on, where's the end button?
If you enjoyed this show, be sure to check out our other shows. We have Beware of Spoilers, where we talk about new release movies. We have 30-minute reviews, where we talk about older stuff and current events in the entertainment industry. And we have Exploring Hyperspace Lanes, where every week Josie and I get together to talk about random stuff in our lives, and also we rank and review everything Star Wars, old stuff, new stuff, all of it. And you can find all of these shows on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts. Or, to get it simply, just go to bewareofspoilers.com, or exploringhyperspacelanes.com, or 30minutereviews.com, and it'll redirect you right to the Spotify page. Thank you, and thank you for enjoying our content.